All right, thank you very much. This is the Colmar work session for November the 12th. And it is 7:08. And motion to start the meeting?
I'll make a motion to start the meeting.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, meeting started. We will start the meeting with a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence, and in particular recognition to Veterans Day yesterday. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we have a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Okay, starting out with the mayor's report, I'll just say that I guess it's been a fairly busy month. One thing I want to point out is that we did have a presentation from the new owners of the Crossroads restaurant, and which was very productive. Their intentions are to create 3 separate restaurants, one being a dinner theater, one a average, normal, typical restaurant. They call it fine dining, but the third one being a sports-themed restaurant, all within the same facility that currently exists, and everything looks pretty good. I'll let everybody know that the community, which was a very, very large group in Bladensburg who attended the meeting, were very careful to make very strong questions on all of the matters, from noise to security to issues of economic viability of the site and so forth. And they have agreed to keep us well informed as to what is going to be going on. I have asked them to come to Colmar Manor and do the presentation for our residents at the December meeting. So we'll put that out there so that we can have a good showing, and that our residents will have an opportunity to also have a conversation with them about what's actually going on. We've also had to attend a rezoning meeting. The county is actually revamping their entire zoning rules across the entire county. And again, the Port Towns together met with the zoning people who were hired to investigate this. And that was a very productive meeting. We're going to continue to be meeting with them. They expect to do this over a 2 to 3 year period of time, so nothing's going to change immediately. But we did find out something very interesting, which was that while our new sector plan disallows several things like automotive maintenance type shops, they are grandfathered for 6 months after closing. And so as long as the same kind of business goes in that business after a business closes, we continue to still have the same things, because that's what we didn't understand. How come they weren't going away? So we will be having, my intention is to have some conversations with our legislators and in the county and the state, because a 6-month turnover is too long for us to get our zoning to kick in, because things don't stay vacant around here very long. So I think they're going based on the county, where things take 18 months sometimes after a vacancy, but that's not the case in the Port Towns. Our vacancies go away very quickly. So that was very productive. We also are having our legislative meeting tomorrow with the several levels of government, and we do know that Congressman Edwards will be here. So this should be a very exciting meeting. Our primary goal in this legislative meeting is trying to become an eco-district. And as an eco-district, we can provide incentives to businesses from an eco perspective. So I think I'll just leave it at that, and there might be other things that the council members might remember that I don't, that we've been doing this month. Councilman?
Yes, good evening. I would like to thank everyone who attended the Veterans Day ceremony in Bladensburg yesterday. It was very nice. I also want to say get well to the sick and the shut-in town of Colmar Manor. And don't forget to put your leaves in the brown bags or the trash can that says leave waste on it. Bulk trash goes out on Tuesday nights. I noticed over the weekend some people would put it out. I don't know, maybe they didn't have help on Tuesday night, but they picked bulk trash up on Wednesday. And I just didn't want no one to get a citation, so it goes out Tuesday night. Happy birthday to Irvin Cabrero, Freddie Stalks, William Gray, Leslie Mitchell, Marion Nelson, and David Harding. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone also. I also want to speak on the Neighborhood Watch. We had a meeting October the 17th at the old police department down on 43rd, and our topics down there was the car wash, and still some people was still under feelings a little bit about the move adjustments. And we also talked about the next meeting in November. It's going to be the 20th because of because of Thanksgiving. It's going to be moved up a week instead of the 27th. It's going to be the 20th at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be here at the town hall. And we're going to talk about holiday safety tips like the electric cords and kerosene heaters and things like that, and suspicious people standing around during the holiday season looking in cars, this and that, and numbers to call the chief on. Thank you. Thank you. Councilman Bodie?
Okay, I don't have a ward report, but I'd like to say happy birthday to Robert Bowden and Kimberly Fraser. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to the Harvest Fest. We had a nice crowd. Zumba Monday and Wednesday from 7:15, Saturday 9:30 a.m. Drop-in fees $6 per pay, 8 classes. And co-ed volleyball 6 p.m. to 7:45. Hand dancing with Smooth Moves, Robin Baden, beginning hand dance classes Thursday night from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. $10 per person. Open dancing immediately following, $3 additional charge. The holiday on Saturday, December the 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. 14 and under. We're going to have music, gift shop prizes, raffle, fun and games, snacks, a picture with Santa, and I'd like for everybody to bring out a canned good. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson?
Yes. Hello, happy November. For my war report, I'm still looking for 2 block captains. I think I have the largest block, but I am really having a hard time with these 2 particular blocks. Actually, one of them is my block, so I might have to be the captain on that one, but I'm looking for, and I will also thank the resident in Ward 3 that locks the park up every night. He's doing an excellent job with that. I went past there and he's doing a great job. I want to report on PGCMA, which is Prince George's elected officials, because someone told me we use a lot of acronyms, so Prince George's elected officials. I sit on the board, and we have our meetings once a month, which is on Thursday. We have our meeting, which is tomorrow, but unfortunately we can't attend because we'll be hosting our legislative dinner here. I'm asking the mayor and council, Prince George's elected official will be having their legislative dinner, which is December the 2nd, which falls on the day that we're having our work session. I'm asking, can we do our work session on December the 3rd? Instead, because I think it's a very important meeting that we should attend. On that one.
The body.
The whole body,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Also, I think everyone knows that my son attends University Park, and I'm always in the neighborhood. Where I ran across this beautiful little library. It's called a free public library, and I'm interested in bringing it to the town of Colmar Manor. So hopefully in December, I will bring more information to the mayor and council on that one. I want to report last night we had a wonderful community engagement meeting with the leadership of Carrie Briggs. She would touch base on that. We're still looking for more people to come out. Our next meeting will be December the 10th at 6:30. We are looking for people to come out. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Epps.
Good afternoon to everyone. Rolling Crest Community Center on Sergeant Road is giving out food on the first and the third Thursday of the month, and the church 7 Days Adventist on Riggs and Ray Road is giving out food on the first and third Thursday of the month. Rolling Crest Community Center is giving a Ridgecrest is giving a community party, and they're collecting toys from 5 to 9:30 on December the 18th. Bladensburg Community Center on November 20th at 1 p.m. is giving out free food as well. On Facebook, the veteran has a veteran site where the veterans can go on and look at all the amenities that they have free and discounts for the website on Facebook. The CDC report, they talked about the Crossroads, the new owner, and Three Brothers is done with the facade there. And we're having a Black History meeting. I was going to do it on the 3rd, but now we'll have to change the date to that. But we are having an emergency meeting for Black History Month because we have some new reports to give out. So for all the people on the committee, I will send out an email soon, because hopefully we try to do it by next week. And I'd like to wish my daughter, Simone, a happy birthday this month. Happy birthday. She'll be 18.
18! Wow! That's quite a milestone.
Yeah, and I'd like to welcome all our new neighbors in the town, and hopefully they know where the town hall is. Come up here and visit the town hall. Let somebody give you a tour of our beautiful town hall. And thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, council members. Yes, I also want to say that I think that the Recreation Council and our recreation team here, employees, did an excellent job, and the Harvest Fest was wonderful. Our first trick-or-treat went over safely. No complaints. There wasn't so many people out, but I know at least one person said they had at least 32 kids came by. And because I was up here, I left a big box of fruit. I had about 40 pieces of fruit inside that box with the sign that said, please take one. And my box was almost empty when I got home. So, I think that everybody appreciated it and had a really good time, and it's really great to see that people are out. And next year is going to be even better than that, so we're really excited about it. In the work session, I will point out, we are going to, on the agenda today, is to conclude the primary item that we had in the work session around commercial vehicles in town. So I'll just leave it to that. We had a secondary work session. I can't remember right now.
We had one to make a decision on the trash cans.
Oh, right, yes. The other main work session item was when we finalized the decision about getting the recycle bins and the new trash contract, which has actually been communicated in the newsletter, and then we'll communicate that again in December so that people can be ready and understand what to do going forward. And our green team leader will give us more information on how we were going to inform everybody when we get to that area in this agenda. So the next thing we have on the item is the treasurer's report. Mr. Bates.
Thank you. I'll give a brief overview of the October Treasurer's Report, which includes the first 4 months of the current fiscal year. On the revenue side, we had total revenues of $552,824. First item you can see is $531,513 from real property tax revenue. That's the largest portion that we get in October of each year for the first semi-annual installment. Total year-to-date revenues are $662,524, and total budget, including fund balance, is $2,287,483. Moving on to the expenditures for the month of October, general government expenditures were $50,131. This was spread out amongst most of the general government budgeted expenditure accounts. Total year-to-date expenditures for general government were $233,151 against a $703,340 budget. On the next page is the maintenance of the 3611 43rd Avenue building. Month of October costs were $704. Year-to-date, $2,820. Total budget, $6,650. For the community center building, total expenditures for the month were $4,237. Total year-to-date expenditures were $27,469, and total budget was $74,400. Moving on to Public Works, costs for October were $20,884. Year-to-date expenditures were $69,577. The budget for the year for Public Works, $257,980. And last department is Recreation with expenditures of $5,504. Year-to-date of $17,522 and a budget of $65,575. Actually, Public Safety's the last department, which is on the next page. Total for the month of October, $31,159. Total year-to-date, $127,812, and a budget of $482,070. Total cash balance at October 31st was $935,710, and that is a brief summary of the October report.
Any questions?
Yes. Dan, I'm looking at line item 511, the Port Town project. Well, I see the month of October, we have a negative $1,150.80.
Right.
Curious.
We put out money for some of the Port Town events, Port Town Days and things like that, and then we get reimbursed from the other towns, the other port towns. So that is the money coming back in that we expended in the prior months.
They divided it, right?
So that the net amount for the 4 months of the fiscal year is a $666 outflow against the $2,500 budget.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And similarly, in number 5555, police equipment, there's a negative $3,347 for the year-to-date.
Yep, I believe that was a insurance reimbursement. The police department, the expense hasn't been paid out against yet. And if you refresh your memory what the...
That was for the MDT that was stolen, that we had stolen from the car.
Colmar computer, mobile computer.
And so the insurance has now paid?
Yeah, it has paid a replacement, yeah.
Amount, but then they're still going to have to spend it to replace it?
Yeah, to replace it, yes, ma'am. That's a replacement cost.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? Is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasury report for October the 31st, 2014.
For second?
I'll second it.
Ward 1? Aye. Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4? Aye. Mayor votes aye. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Bailey.
You're welcome.
Okay, next item on the list is the police department.
Okay, Mayor, I'm actually going to be going over two reports, one for the month of September and one for this month, since I was absent last month. For the month of September, we had no significant incidents in town. We had 78 calls of service for the month. We had 9 reports written. And we had 0 arrests for the month, and we had 5 vehicle impounds for the month of September. For the month of October, we had 1 residential burglary on the 3300 block of 40th Avenue that is still open. We had 58 calls of service for the month of October, 7 reports written, and we had 2 arrests for the month of October, and we had 3 vehicle impounds for the month of October. Also, I'd like to remind everybody in the community, our Santa with a Badge program is going to be on December 12th at 5 to 8 p.m. here at the police department. If you know, every year, this is our 6th year doing it. We take out kids in the community that are in a little need of a little Christmas special for some gifts and stuff. Also, this is our 2nd year. We're actually taking out a Wounded Warrior from the Wounded Warrior Project as well. So if you have any names, anybody that might that is in need in town, please send me an email or give a call here at the police department. And also, I'd like to know our next community coffee club meeting is going to be December 17th at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Chief. Does anybody have any questions for the Chief? I don't know if I just overlooked it or whatever, but could you give us a little bit of information on the incident on Sunday?
You mean this month? There was, on Sunday, there was a call for a fight at the Lucky Mart. There was quite a few people fighting or whatever at the Lucky Mart. That was a call, it was. Is that the one you called me? Talking about? Okay, yeah. There was a call of service saying people had seen some people fighting. They got there, and unfortunately, they didn't see any signs of injury. None. They were more or less intoxicated individuals where they were still on their way. So
that was resolved without...
Yeah, resolved, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
The car, there was another one on Bladensburg Road, the email you sent out?
Yeah, the email I sent out was involving an off-duty officer. Yeah, that was attempted carjacking on Cottage City side. Apparently he was coming down Bladensburg Road, had pulled to make a turn on 43rd Avenue on Cottage City side, and apparently some gentleman that came up and tapped him in the rear of the vehicle. Of course, the officer knew this is something that's been going around when usually being carjacked now. The bad guys are actually tapping the back of your car, like causing an accident. So of course the officer got out of his vehicle, seen what they were doing. He identified himself as the police officer, drawing his weapon. They got back into their vehicle and took off towards D.C., in which the officer gave chase, and they ended up crashing in D.C. near on the metro station there on Bladensburg Road. So they did get all the suspects that were involved in it.
I'm curious, you said, I don't know of a metro station on Bladensburg Road.
Well, that's what I was told is on Metro.
It's right there. It's in D.C. The building, when the Metro...
Oh, the Metro Depot.
Yeah, the depot.
Metro, that's all I was told. It was, okay.
I got you.
Well, they did get him, and I sent you guys a separate...
He was not in a police...
Nah, he was in the civilian car, he was, when he...
Oh, okay.
And I sent you guys a separate email on that, who the reference was to. So, they picked the wrong person to... Unfortunately, it wasn't their day. But they did get him. Because a lot of times, a lot of these carjackings and stuff in Prince George's County, a lot of times these suspects fly back, or usually from D.C. And then we can't, unfortunately, ain't supposed to chase him, but he did, and unfortunately ended up wrecking. But it's hard for us to get him, unfortunately, so. But in this case, they got him, so.
That's good. Well, one less one around for a minute anyway. Great. Thank you very much, Chief. Appreciate it. All right, so unfinished business. We'll move on to this, introduction of ordinance 022114.
Mayor Barrow and members of the council, at the work session last week and prior to that, at the town meeting in October, the idea of changing the provisions of the town code with regard to overnight parking was raised, in particular to define the terms commercial vehicle or trailer. And with that in mind, at the work session, the mayor and council asked me to draft, which is before each of you in your folders, an ordinance number 02, 2014, I do note in passing through it, and the chief has noted to me, that the fine, which is at the bottom of page 2, the chief believes was not one that was increased during the period when Chief Keeney and the council, with Mayor Fennell, was raising all the fines from $100 to $250. So if you want it to remain, if it is introduced, and the mayor and council want it to remain at $250, I have to put some words in here setting forth that there is a new penalty involved. If not, then I have to strike the $250 and put it in terms of $100. Again, in section E at the bottom of your page. Otherwise, the wording, which may be a little difficult to follow in the first paragraph and much easier in the second paragraph on through paragraph C, is essentially what is in the federal definition of a commercial vehicle. The difference being that I've taken out a lot of the verbiage that doesn't apply in our situations. Hazmat, materials being hauled, and other situations. Otherwise, the definition pretty well sets forth what is and what is not a commercial vehicle. And I'm ready for any questions that anybody would have. It is set, if you introduce it today, a public hearing can be held at the town's general meeting in December, and thereafter, at that meeting or any subsequent meeting for the month, you may adopt it. For that month and the next month and the month after that, you may adopt it.
Does anybody have any clarification questions?
I guess, Mr. Barber, you can just, I heard you say about the fee. I guess, obviously, I didn't really understand as far as with the fee part. Is that something that was always there? We're taking it out?
No, before. On the penalty, the town had a program approximately 4 years ago. No, longer than that, during Mayor Fennell's time.
Okay.
I can say what, it was a fine for $25 for, it might have been 25.
It was 100.
It was 100, right.
And we had a tractor-trailer problem on Newark Road, where the tractor-trailers kept parking on Newark Road, no matter how many times
And we
we gave them a
still do?
ticket.
They kept doing it.
No matter how many times we gave them a ticket, they just still parked there until we realized that the fee was not relative to their cost of parking somewhere else overnight. And then we raised it to $250, and then it settled down, the problem. I mean, they would be stacked up on Newark Road.
They would just pay the fine.
Yes, the fine was too low to be commensurate with the actual violation, and that's when we moved it up to $250 because of that reason. But I'm not sure, as far as clarification, when you were talking about taking it back down to 100?
No, what I said was that I was of the impression that when fines were raised on lots of violations during Mayor Fennell's tenure as mayor, at the suggestion of Chief Keeney, that this particular section was changed to $250. Chief Gibson tells me, as far as he knows, it's $100, and whatever the mayor and council want to do, I have to amend this section one way or the other to correct that issue.
Chief, do you know if we could charge by weight of the vehicle?
No, I don't know about that. The county fine is currently $100, and I'm looking at our code on the website, and it is at $100 for commercial vehicles, and that's what I was aware of. It was always that. Now, they did raise fines. I remember when Chief Keeney was here, we raised like handicap, different things to $250. We did some of them parking infractions. I do know that. And most all your other parking, like for parking on yellow curves, so they were $25, and it was raised to $50 for the violations.
So this one, just to make sure I'm clear, because from from what we enacted back then during, as time was to raise that to $250. So what you're saying is that we haven't actually been putting $250 tickets. We've been
No, it's been put $100, yeah, and that's what's on our website on the code too for section 10-106. It says a penalty for a violation of section 10.6 shall be the fine up to $100 or 10 days in jail, both, and that's for overnight parking of trailers and commercial vehicles.
So that change in the ordinance back then did not get reflected in the code that's being represented on the website.
I would imagine if that wasn't done, the date on that was 2008, that's on the website. The date on that, it says the last date it was revised. I do remember when I was first came here, there were some revisions you guys did on the code, but as far as I knew, commercial vehicles was always $100. It was 50 at one time.
Isn't it kind of low for a tractor trailer to be parked?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you want to do 250, then maybe if somebody gets a $250 ticket on a, tractor trailer or a large vehicle, we do have a problem with that sometimes, and then hopefully that may prevent them from
That's the wear and tear on our streets that we have to pay for, the citizen has to pay for eventually.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Barr, is the weight of the vehicle, can we charge by weight? I don't think it has nothing to do with the weight.
Right now, you have no differentiation between an 18-wheeler that weighs 10 tons and a pickup that weighs 1 ton.
So we had to determine the price between two, or
If you want to, you may do it.
Well, right now, I mean, one of the things is from a clarification point of view, I mean, something that's screaming inside my head right now is the fact that there's a problem in our system of maintaining the data. When you updated this ordinance, you did it based on the most recent that you were utilizing as normally, right? You struck out the ones that are coming out, and you're putting bold,
It was $100, and when I looked at it, I said, oh my, that should be $250.
Yeah, there was a vote, there was
Yeah.
$250.
And I don't remember this number being raised, so just for the sake, if the mayor and council want to keep it at $250, that's fine. I'll just put in some verbiage that'll take care of that issue.
But do we have a correct system in place to ensure that if we make a vote on an ordinance, that literally moves forward into the code record that's being seen
It's
by...
done on my computer, where I maintain the ordinance.
she's saying in the ordinance, it wasn't followed up in the ordinance, that's why he didn't charge him that $250, he was only charging him $100. That's what you're saying?
Yes,
Very much.
I don't think we've had that problem.
This is the first time.
We'll have to ask the chief, but it has not been called to my attention that we've raised it beyond.
Yeah, and actually, there's a second part on the town website. We have a thing for fines and penalties, and I think that's what you guys are talking about. When you guys made adjustment, there's a separate article under town code on the website that actually gives you the current fines, but I do not see commercial vehicles as being one that's being raised to $250 on there. It says most all the violations under traffic violations, $100 it is. So I don't even see commercial vehicle, and handicap I knew was raised to $250 too, because handicap used to be $100 when I first came here. I do remember that. We did raise that handicap parking as well. If you get caught parking at the shopping center or anywhere in town that's a handicap.
Okay, so let's do this now. In terms of what we are going to vote on, since the record that's most public right now says $100, even though we took a vote previously, let's also make that a change here to $250.
Is that the sense of the council?
250 is the change. We want it to be 250, right? Yeah. We're looking at those. Yeah. So, in terms of considering the change, let's ensure that that is a part of what is the change, since the most public record that people can see says $100.
I can take care of that.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to that point, I mean, because it just raises a large concern to me. I think that we actually probably need a review of what's on your computer as the votes that we've taken over the years, and then what's actually getting out on the website.
It's up to date.
To make sure that what's on the website matches correct.
Well, what's on the website, I believe, is the small code, which is the one we hand out. It doesn't have the cable TV ordinance. It doesn't have some of the construction sections that are very technical.
Well, I just mean the sections that are on there, that they're accurate. Because I have a very, very clear memory, as I'm sure
We did.
Councilmember Wright,
We did.
that we raised that to $250, and that would have been over 5 years ago.
Right.
So if one thing is wrong, it means that there's a good possibility that other things could be well double check. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we, so is there a motion to, move forward with this, with the changes we discussed?
Yes, I'll make that motion as stated.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Mayor, that's a motion to introduce bill.
That's right, the motion was to
$250 fine.
The whole, all of your changes plus the $250 fine.
Thank you.
Okay, any additional discussion? I will just state that a part of the reasoning in us putting in this definition is to ensure that everyone understands the reasons for commercial vehicles, the large type vehicles that may come in your town, ruin your streets or whatever, and not necessarily a pickup truck with, XYZ construction on the side. That is not considered in the federal definition of what is a commercial vehicle. And so we wanted to clarify what a commercial vehicle was so that everyone who is around will understand that specifics by including the definition. So I'll call for a vote. Ward 1? Aye. Ward 2? Aye. Ward 3? Aye. Ward 4? Aye. The mayor votes aye. Thank you very much. Okay, new business. Okay, so we want to change the day of the work session. I just kind of remember something I was looking at today that we're scheduled to do something on the 3rd. And I can't remember what it was, but it's my mother's birthday, and so I remember seeing it and going, oh, that's my mother's birthday. So, so some kind of event that I think is a public event on the 3rd.
Well, can we make a motion not to have a work session for the month of December?
Or what we could do is, we could come an hour before the town meeting.
Before we go to,
For the regular town meeting.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We could like come an hour earlier and have a work session and then come into the town meeting on the same day. So
Sure.
We need to do that. Okay. So that date is what? The 9th.
December the 9th.
So is there a motion to move the work session to 6 o'clock on December 9th?
I'll make the motion to move the work session to December the 9th at 6 p.m.
Is there a second? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Motion carries. All right, down to our committee reports, and I am so missing Mr. Muchler.
Yeah, he wasn't there yesterday, I noticed. Yeah, he wasn't there. Veterans Day, and he's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't there. Tracy, do you know? Have you heard anything?
All right, well, we're going to check on Mr. Muchler. We totally, completely appreciate all the work that he does for us on a regular basis. It means a whole lot.
I can report for the seniors.
Okay, go ahead.
The seniors is having their senior lunch, which is Wednesday, November the 19th, which should be held here at the town hall. Our office manager, Julie Miles, is in charge of it. She's doing a really good job.
Awesome. And she always does.
Yes.
I mean, there's no question about it. Judy does a fabulous job for those luncheons and the dinners for the seniors and all of the work that she does to keep them going. So we appreciate that. All right, Garden Club, President Ms. Briggs-Adams.
I'll turn this microphone. So our community garden is in the process of really shutting down, although we do have 2 people who are going to winter garden this year. So we've ordered supplies for them to be able to put a row cover over and grow things longer, and then start a little earlier in the spring. They're both individuals who are gardened with us for a couple of years, so I expect that they will try this out and let us know how it works. So it was about $50 worth of supplies, and the equipment's on its way, so we'll see how that works for them. You have to be a little careful, because if you warm up too much, if we get a warm day after it gets cold, you can actually bake your plants in one day. So you got to be a little careful to put it on and get them air.
Are they going to put a door on the front?
Yes. I talked to Chris Jones, and he tells me that he'll probably get the gate on there in the next week. We also have asked if the WSSC, when they are done with the temporary road across the park, they have a large collection of wood chips, and we thought we could just recycle those wood chips right onto the community garden to make up for what got washed away in a couple of flooding events that we had.
Great.
That way they don't have to pick them up and haul them away, just recycle them across the street. So we are just about done. We're starting to sign people up for the spring. We're asking our gardeners who want to come back next year and what interest we have, and just about everybody's coming back. So we should be full up once again. And that is the end of the garden club. We won't be having a November meeting because of Thanksgiving and all, that we're just going to run into each other. And our regular December meeting takes place at Julianne Bethia's house, because that's eggnog in the garden. So the garden club's been warned that they are to get their eggnog ready. And
Everybody has to make a batch of their own and be kind of like...
or something delicious.
Oh, okay. All right.
What was that date? What was the date? The December 20th.
We're all looking for that day.
Exactly. Just get out your good recipes and get ready. And it is outdoors, so...
1 little jacket.
1 o'clock. Yeah, bring your coat, maybe some gloves, depending on what the weather does.
Thank goodness we can walk home.
And I do just want to remind everybody, I know that we've been being warm, but warm is over, so if you still got hoses or things outside, please get them in the next day or so, because they're going to freeze with water in them, and then you're going to have broken hoses.
That was my question. Do you dig the closest pants up and bring them in, or you cover them up with the leaves?
You can cover them up, so we're going to have frost warnings. You know, they're saying potential snow.
Don't put plastic down. That's...
No, because that could rot them. That could cook them. It gets them too hot.
Okay.
So if you got stuff that you're going to try and get through the winter, you may want to pack it in straw. I put my strawberry plants that are in pots, they're just up right next to my house. So they're going to live on the porch, and that's how they got through last winter. As cold as it was, they made it through.
So if you know anyone that has coleus plants and want to exchange, let them know that I'm looking for a piece.
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay, any other garden club meeting questions?
What about a garden club in Ward 4? I heard a little bit of whisper about the citizens on that end are kind of into their feelings.
I think there's some hints that there's some desire. We're going to see, we'll start talking in January and see if there are enough people who want to do it and run it.
Okay.
We certainly have enough seeds and, everything, things to do all of that.
I just have one thing. If we can, all the gardeners, if they can give us some feedback, like pretty much what did they grow, what did they use it for, maybe a recipe or something, and report to us at our January meeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll just add, as a part of the funding that came in for the garden club included the cooking classes. And we purchased CSA, which Carrie can explain to you what a CSA is. Go ahead.
Community-supported agriculture. The idea is that you help fund farmers, not just when you buy the apple when it's ripe, but by giving them money up front so that they know they're going to have money that's going to help support them through the year. This has really helped a lot of small farmers and small growers all over the country. And we have the opportunity here in the port towns to have Eco City Farm
Farms, which has got CSA bags, which is a weekly delivery of fresh fruits and vegetables, because not just what they're growing, because they're working with other local growers. And it is available on their website. You can sign up now. They start deliveries tomorrow on Thursday the 13th of November. And so you sign up and pay monthly, and you're going to get a big bag of what's fresh every week on Thursday. So if it's on Thursday, you go to Riverdale Farms to pick it up, or if you pick up on Saturday, you pick it up at Eco City Farms. And when we get to the green team, we'll talk about the fact that we're trying to work towards enough people here in town being participants that we can have deliveries come here to Town Hall.
Right, but we did purchase one for the town, and so I guess I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. I'll bring it here to the legislative meeting. Bring the show off that we're doing that. But I do want to start the cooking group, and I would like us to do a cooking group as opposed to cooking classes. So it could be a group of people bringing recipes out, bringing them out together. Everybody can talk to a nutritionist about what's good or bad about their recipe and learning how to cook better. So when...
Do you still need a head chef for that too?
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for, is settling on who's going to be our chefs. It's going to probably be multiple chefs that we're working with, but they're working right now on picking out the equipment that we need in the kitchen for the classes. So they haven't done it yet. So I was really hoping we'd start by this week, but we'll put some pressure on them to actually get those purchases done, because that's what the holdup is right now. And then we'll put something out to everyone saying when we can start, hopefully by the first week in December.
Right. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Shall I put on my green team hat?
That's right. Now let's move to the green team.
So I'm really happy to say that we are on a roll now with our green team. We went to a Prince George's County Green Summit and met with a lot of great vendors and suppliers and foundations and folks who've got money to offer us, expertise to offer us in our green activities here for the town of Colmar Manor. We also sat with Cottage City during that meeting, so we're coordinating with them on a lot of activities. And the folks from Cottage City came to our meeting last night and debriefed with us so that we're planning ahead on our actions and our activities. And we want to start right after the first of the year, touching back on the idea of the new recycling bins. Now that you're going to have more space to recycle into, we want to get everybody really engaged in recycling and what should be in that bin instead of in the trash.
You're going to give lists out to citizens?
Lists and something you can keep on the refrigerator so if you're confused about does that go in or doesn't that, you know exactly where it goes. I would also point out the chief sent out that there are about to be some electronics recycling pickups.
Yeah, that's right.
Because everybody should know you don't put batteries in the trash. Batteries stay in a little container off to the side till there's a green recycling, and there are two of them coming up.
And paint also.
Right. So this is an electronics one. They're taking old TV sets, old television monitors, electronics equipment, and they're taking batteries, cell phones.
All of it.
So we are working towards January for recycling, because everybody will get their bins the first week of the month. So we're setting a date. We're looking towards the Saturday of Martin Luther King weekend. We're just setting the date yet, so it'll go up on the website as soon as we're sure what date we can do, so we can get some folks to help us with that. And then the next month in February, we're going to do a training on composting. And composting is not complicated. It's how you grow your own dirt. And really you take your kitchen cuttings, when you peel a vegetable or you cut an onion and you got parts that you can't eat or the tops of the carrots, all of those go in and they actually turn into beautiful, rich dirt in just a few months, so long as you're properly composting. So
you use leaves with that?
You use leaves, you use lawn cuttings. You got to get a mix of those three kinds of composition to get your best dirt and to go the fastest. So we're looking to have some people bring composting boxes, so people will be able to buy them or see how you can make them. And we'll talk about the different styles of them. Because if you got a rectangular one, you got to get in there and turn the stuff around. I have a fancy one at my house that turns around, so I don't have to get in there with a pitchfork and turn it. So we'll be doing a class and a training on that. And we are also going to ask folks, because this will probably turn into May when we're done with it, that if you are starting seeds for your vegetable gardens or your flowers this year, if you've got some spares, we're going to do a plant swap. And let people share what they've got, share their extras so that they go in the ground someplace. We'll do that sort of early May. We don't want to give you a plant and then have you put it in the ground and have it freeze. So
My husband did his first pumpkin this year. And we've ever had like a pumpkin, and it's just now turning orange.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a real pumpkin, you know.
Exactly. And it would be delicious.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, okay. So those are some of the things that we're planning and working, as I said, with Cottage City. And we had a great meeting last night, and notes are out, and I'm getting comments back from folks about the work that we're doing.
Great. Hey, could you, the summary that you did send on what we discussed, can you send it to Mr. Stone? I'm going to ask him to put it on the website. So
Absolutely.
that everybody can see that.
Carrie, I just want to thank you for going to that meeting that night that the mayor and council were unable to attend. I know Councilman Epps did come out, but just really thank you. I've heard a lot from other municipalities how you really represent Colmar Manor, and so we just want to thank you for that. And Connie,
You're very welcome. And then
Very much.
warm to my heart, when we get a little later in the spring, we're going to talk about bees and pollination and why we have to go bee-friendly. And as I told the folks at the meeting last night, why bees are important is because pollinators pollinate every third bite of our food. So if we have no bees and no pollinators, 1/3 of our food's going to disappear.
Right.
So we need to make sure that we protect them and encourage them, and we're headed down the road.
Yes. Well, I want to double down on that appreciation. It really meant a lot. A lot of these places are just so used to the elected show up and residents really aren't involved, and that really put a feather in our cap. And there was a few of you. That's right. It was really impressive. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And we want to thank the folks in Cottage City because they helped us out, because they knew who the other elected folk were. Don't always know them by sight.
Yes, right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cottage City too.
Show community support.
Thank you.
Carrie, before you sit down, you was talking about bees. So could you also let people know how to be bee-friendly?
Exactly, because we really have to not use pesticides. They're not good for us. They're not good for the earth. They're expensive, and we can do almost all of this with just plantings and natural enemies so that we don't have to put out poisons. I listened to an hour-and-a-half long workshop today that was put on by Cornell University with top specialists all over the country talking about how we're losing bees all over the place, and we've really got to get on board to help save them.
Is there a website that we can visit?
There's not one simple one yet. I'm pulling together some stuff from a couple of organizations so that it's not too technical and crazy-making. But we should have some resources in another month or so.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And to the point of the whole sustainability, I'm going to continuously sort of put out on a regular basis, my whole issue with bottles, plastic bottles, is explosive at this point. And there's a wonderful article that came out in the Washington Post. Get one of these and carry it around. Hey, listen, it'll take us a lot of time, and there's situations and circumstances that when we do need them. But this article was just so impressive to me that as an indication that I believe it's something like 40% of our waterways are contaminated in some way by plastic. And it's styrofoam, it's plastic bags, it's the plastic bottles, but we have islands in the ocean that are just bottles and plastic. And then the fish are eating them, and at this point now we're eating plastic when we actually eat of a fish or a fish that ate a fish. It's now inside of our system. The article is just absolutely amazing in the depth in explaining just the catastrophe that is likely beyond global warming or climate change issues. And it's being very much not given the amount of attention that it deserves. And so I'm going to say it until somebody hears me saying it, and I hope you guys will all say it. And I think I sent you all the email, but I'll send it out again so that you can actually read the article. It's pretty impressive about it. Anyway, okay, it's time now. Any
Mayor,
specific comment?
I'm sorry, I just want to say three things. I want to say congratulations to Diana Fennell and also Jimmy Tahu. They're our new delegates for the District 47. I also want to let residents know that every year at the town hall, we give out baskets for people that's in need. And we do have a list of people that but if you know someone, please contact your mayor and council or call the staff, Julie or Kayla.
Thank you very much. And thank you for that, Councilmember Jackson, because I also had on my list to make sure to tell everybody that energy assistance is available to people who may have problems in getting their heat on or paying their heat bill. So the social service department is open, what is it, Chief? Tuesday and Thursday, from 1 to 5. Please go by to find out how you can get help. But if you do call Pepco or you call Washington Gas, they also can give you the names of places that actually have grant funding to assist people who are having a problem. Don't stay in a cold house without seeking help and support. And also, if you do need something, please feel free to call the town hall and let us know so that we can find a way or see if we can find someone who might be able to assist.
And she's not just saying homeowners, that's any citizen in a town that's renting.
That's right. If you have a lease agreement and you live somewhere, you have a right to go and ask for assistance in getting your heat bill or your water bill taken care of.
All that is confidential.
It's confidential, and heat is a living and dying issue. Water is a living and dying issue, and also a sanitation issue. So just know that there is some help if you need it, and I just want to make sure that we put that out there. So thank you very much. Any resident comments? All right. Anything from the council?
Yes, I want to say,
Stuff that happened?
coming, 2015 Community Service Day is coming. I don't have the exact dates yet, but it's going to be spring, summer, and fall, March, June, and August. So set the date, the month. Anyway, the date will come up by next month. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody got some good news? Some good stuff happened this week?
I do. When we tried on our jackets, my jacket was tight, but now it's not. So I'm constantly, right direction.
Keep on working on it.
Yeah,
That's right. We're impressed.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I thank God I haven't had no sinus flare-up yet, and I haven't had allergy shot or nothing. I've been drinking water and trying to eat healthier and different. So thank God I feel good.
Oh, wonderful.
It's clear so far.
All right, good. Well, I'm going to say, as many of you may know, I've had a very, very severe eczema problem for a few years in my hands. They're healing. They're healing. They almost look normal again. So I am really thankful. Very blessed with that. Very blessed. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yes, I'd like to make that motion as stated.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay.
I had another question. The new white